Howdy y'all, I'm PaintThatBell, and today what we'll be doing is we will be drawing Captain America for the 4th of July. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so we should probably talk about the process behind this picture. So, for this picture, what we decided to go for was this sort of upward angle where you could see Captain America holding his shield, where it's like a wartime drawing. You know, Captain America is certainly in his element here, and that's the point that we're trying to go for. So what we try to do is, we tried to do different angles, we tried to draw different things, see what works. We tried one pose, but it really didn't stick, and it looked really weird, so we tried different angles to see what worked best, and all in all, we settled on this one. But after some looking at it and playing by the rules of thirds, which is a compositional thing, and if y'all are interested, I might touch up on that later, but right now I'm just gonna say that this is a rule of thirds thing. And after looking at it, it put way too much emphasis where it shouldn't be. Like, I'll just put it up on screen right now. Yeah, that was the first initial sketch. It put way too much emphasis on the crotch area. I mean, I know Captain America has, that America's ass, but I mean, we don't need to emphasize America's crotch right there. That was so bad, I'm sorry. So what we decided to do to fix it was what we decided to do was lower Captain America a bit more, so that we could emphasize a bit more on the chest area, so it would lean more into the shield. Like, you look up at the chest first off, and then you see the arm, and it leads slowly up to the shield, and that was the kind of vibe that we were trying to achieve and go for, and the original sketch didn't do that justice, no. But that was the original thought processes behind the sketch. And believe me when I say it took a while to figure this sketch out. I mean, seriously. That being said, I did use a lot of references for this drawing, and for the sketch alone, it probably took like an hour or two to figure it all out and to get it to be the way that it really should have been, the vision inside of my head and how it would turn out to be. And it just, once you get the sketch right, the rest of the picture typically follows after. I mean, there's a lot to say about knowledge of, composition and all that, and also the finishing work can make or break a piece. But typically, once you get the sketch phase done, the rest of it doesn't look as bad. So, if you can take anything away from this, just take as long as you need to on the sketch, because after you go from the sketch into like the inking or the coloring, unless you're doing digital artwork, there's no going back. And even if you do digital artwork, it will take forever just to fix it. So trust me, take as long as you need on the sketch and work your way from there. After we worked on the sketch, what was then decided to do was, well, the background. The background took, I think, 2.5 hours. Yeah. The sky wasn't that hard. The clouds took a bit of figuring out. I'm personally not the best at backgrounds. I need to be better at them, so that's why I'm kind of incorporating it a bit more into the piece. Plus, backgrounds really tend to add an extra visual oomph to artwork, so just really working on that and seeing how it goes and, learning how to draw new things. I think I remember how to draw clouds, I drew clouds in the past, but I forgot the process of how I drew them, so I had to relearn that. And then there was this whole rocks, and I don't know how to draw rocks, so I had to look up a tutorial on that. Of course, paying in mind, artistic differences, and the fact that I don't have like Adobe Photoshop. I have like an older program. It works great. Trust me, I really love the program, but there are some certain things that this program doesn't have. So I had to work with what we had, what we were given, and then what came along next was the fire. Oh my word, the fire took absolutely forever. I don't know why, but fire is just so hard to draw. It's unpredictable. It has different parts of opacity to it, which basically means opacity is see-throughness. The more you know. But yeah, it has different levels of opacity to it. It has to be vibrant enough. It has to have whites, blues if it's hot enough, reds, yellows, low. It has to have that spark and ember and look like it's unpredictable. It's gotta be intense. So it took forever to do that. I was experimenting with airbrushes. I looked up tutorials like crazy. And in the end, I don't know exactly what I did. Well, I kind of do, but in the end, it was just, I kind of winged it because the tutorials weren't really working for me. It wasn't really doing what I wanted it to. So instead, what I decided to do was wing it, and I decided to add this extra pop of light yellow and white, and to slightly diffuse it with a blender to see how that would turn out, see how it would pan out, and it gave that extra oomph that it needed. From there, we decided to work on Captain America himself. Eyes first, because, quite honestly, I always tend to work on the eyes, because the eyes and the expression always makes or breaks a piece, even if it's not the main thing you look at, the expression does tend to make or break a piece. And what I wanted for Captain America's expression was him looking off into the distance, all patriotic. Just the Captain America. You get the feel for who he is, serious, all that. From then on, we worked on the skin. And the skin around the eyes were easy enough because there was enough light and shadow. But the jaw, without looking at the helmet, because, you want to draw the helmet first because the helmet goes on top. It was a pain in the butt to draw the skin around the jaw, just because it was so confusing. It looked like wax. It didn't look proper. But I think in the end it turned out okay, and yeah, I think it turned out okay. From then we moved on to the helmet, and oh my word, why does Captain America's costume have to be so detailed? Like, really, Marvel, it doesn't have to be that detailed. I know you're going for realism and whatnot, but I had trouble finding, like, which helmet I wanted to do. It has so many costumes, each one of them is so detailed, and it's just... There are so many dots in Captain America's costume, so many lines to make it look like a helmet, and it... Then, of course, you go on to the chest piece, where you have, like, a lot of this, like, armor-like thing that looks like scales. Compared to the helmet and the armor, the rest of it actually wasn't that difficult. And moving on to, like, the shield, gloves, and boots, I really love drawing leather and metal. It's kind of fun, interesting way of how to look at leather and metal, because light and shadows look different on it. Metal is more reflective, and depending on the type of metal and what paint you use, you just might have, like, reflections, like a mirror, sort of, but distorted. I imagine Captain America's shield to be more silvery, and that you see more reflection, but with the paint, you don't see that much. So it's more just metallic looking and just a little bit shinier perhaps. But you know, it's a shield. And the leather itself, I don't know how to explain how to draw leather or my thought processes around it. I just know to draw big chunks. I mean big chunks of shadows where creases would be and where light would not hit, because leather doesn't retain as much light. Well, I mean, it's just more intense light and shadows with them. That's really what it is. And that's the extent of my knowledge on how to explain leather. Leather is just, it's hard to explain how to draw. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, that is Captain America and the thought processes surrounding it. Captain America, I love his character and I really wanted to draw him. I am mentally kicking myself in the butt for trying to draw it realistically, but I think it adds to the epicness, and though it may have mistakes, I'm not doing it. I'm not redrawing it. No, I am done. It took me forever to draw this. The face and helmet, the background alone, took me 6 to 7 hours alone, just on the face, background, and helmet, and the sketch alone, and I'm not doing it. No. Please do all the YouTube related things, and I'll see all my crazy creatives later.